Have you ever wondered why, despite your best intentions and detailed plans, you fail to achieve your goals? It's a common issue that transcends cultures, affecting people everywhere. From failed New Year's resolutions to unrealized life ambitions, many of us are trapped in a cycle of high expectations and recurring disappointment. But what if the secret to achieving your goals isn't about doing more, but doing less, and doing it with intention? This insight, rooted deeply in Buddhist philosophy, challenges societal norms that glorify hustle and busyness. In this comprehensive exploration, we'll uncover why people often fail to achieve their goals, how small changes can lead to big transformations, and how embracing moderation and mindfulness can pave the path to success. Through real-life examples, Buddhist teachings, and practical advice, you'll discover the profound wisdom that can transform your approach to life's challenges. Okay, let's start with a reality check. How many of you have been told, work harder and you'll achieve everything you want? I bet all of us have heard that at some point. But here's the kicker. What if that's not entirely true? What if doing more isn't the answer at all? Let me share a story. There's this guy I know. Let's call him Mark. Mark worked in a corporate office. Big goals, big dreams, but also big stress. He'd wake up at 5 a.m., hit the gym, grab coffee, work 12, sometimes 16 hours, and then crash into bed. Sounds productive, right? Except he wasn't happy. He wasn't achieving his goals. Why? Because he was so busy doing everything that he couldn't focus on what really mattered. Now, here's where Buddhism flips the script. Instead of chasing more, Buddhism teaches us about doing less, but doing it mindfully. It's called the middle way, finding balance instead of extremes. Mark didn't need more hours in the day. He needed clarity on what was important. So, pause for a second. What's truly important to you? If you stopped trying to do everything, what would you focus on? All right, here's the next step: prioritization. I know it sounds simple, but trust me, this is where most people go wrong. Imagine trying to juggle 5 balls in the air. Something's bound to drop, right? That's what happens when we try to do too much. Let me give you an example. I recently met a college student, Sarah, who was struggling. She had straight A's in mind, but she was also trying to join 3 clubs, volunteer every weekend, and keep up with her part-time job. Guess what happened? Burnout. And her grades? They suffered. Why? Because she wasn't focusing on her big rocks. Now, in Buddhism, mindfulness is the key to prioritization. It's about being fully present and asking yourself, what's the one thing I can do today that will make the biggest difference? When Sarah started focusing on just 2 priorities, her studies and 1 meaningful club, her life changed. So, what are your big rocks? Think about it. Okay, let's talk about expectations. How many of you have set these sky-high goals only to feel crushed when you don't achieve them? Be honest. We've all been there. The truth is, there's nothing wrong with having dreams or goals, but the problem comes when our expectations and reality don't match. I had a friend who wanted to become a motivational speaker. He imagined standing in front of thousands, getting standing ovations. But during his first speech, half the audience looked bored and no one clapped. Ouch, right? Here's what I told him, straight from Buddhist teachings. Moderation is the key. Have confidence, yes, but accept that perfection isn't the goal. You're not here to impress the world. You're here to do your best. And when you do that, you'll find that success feels a lot less stressful. Let's get real for a moment. How many times have you thought, I'm just not good enough, or I always mess up? You're not alone. This is something we all struggle with. But let me ask you this. Who told you that? Was it someone else, or was it you? Here's the problem with self-labeling. The more you tell yourself, I'm a failure, the more you start to believe it. It's like you're putting a sticker on your own forehead that says, can't do it. Buddhism teaches us that identity is impermanent. Who you were yesterday doesn't define who you are today. So, the next time you catch yourself saying, I can't, stop. Remind yourself, I'm still learning. It's a small shift, but it's powerful. All right, now here's the good stuff. Everyone wants big changes, right? But here's the secret. Big changes start with small steps. Let me say that again. Big changes start small. Think of a goldsmith refining a block of gold. Do they transform it in one swoop? They polish it, bit by bit, until it shines. That's what you need to do with your life. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't try to fix everything at once. Start small. Clean your desk. Meditate for 5 minutes. Call that friend you have been meaning to talk to. These small actions build momentum, and before you know it, your life starts to transform. Let's talk about stress. It's that feeling of being stuck in a dark hole, right? You try to climb out, but every step feels harder than the last. Here's the thing. Most of us try to solve stress by treating the symptoms, not the cause. Imagine you're in a sinking boat. Do you just keep bailing water, or do you find the hole and patch it? Buddhism teaches us to look for the root cause. Maybe your stress isn't about that deadline. It's about the fear of failure. Maybe it's not about that argument. It's about feeling unheard. When you dig deep and find the real problem, that's when healing begins. Momentum is magic. Once you get started, things just flow. But getting started? That's the hard part, right? Here's a tip. Start small, start easy. I knew a guy who wanted to write a book. For years, he didn't write a single page because the goal felt too big. Then he started writing just 1 paragraph a day. That's it, 1 paragraph. And guess what? A year later, he had a finished manuscript. In Buddhism, there's this idea of sadhana, or intention. Your actions don't have to be perfect, but they have to be intentional. So, what's one small step you can take today to build momentum? Here's a question for you. When was the last time you felt truly balanced? Not too stressed, not too relaxed, just balanced? If you're like most people, it's been a while. The Buddha taught the importance of moderation with a simple metaphor. A lute string. If the string is too tight, it snaps. If it's too loose, it doesn't play. Life is the same way. Take an entrepreneur I know. He was working 24/7, chasing success, but his family life was falling apart. When he started balancing his work with time for his kids, his whole life improved. Remember, it's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things. Let's talk about something we don't talk about enough: self-compassion. How often do you beat yourself up for mistakes? Now, let me ask you this. Would you talk to a friend the way you talk to yourself? Probably not. Buddhism teaches us metta, or loving kindness. It's not just for others. It's for yourself, too. The next time you mess up, instead of saying, I'm so stupid, try saying, it's okay. I'm human. I'm learning. It sounds cheesy, but trust me, it works. All right, we've covered a lot today. But here's the big question. How do you take all this wisdom and use it in your daily life? The answer is simple: 1 step at a time. Start your day with mindfulness. Set 1 intention. Focus on 1 goal. And most importantly, be kind to yourself along the way. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. So, here's my challenge to you. Learn a little, apply a little, improve a little, every single day. Because when you do that, big changes are inevitable.